Welcome back, everybody, to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Beta video. And today, Jiren got his EZA details announced. Um, I had high hopes for this EZA. I really did. We're not really going to be we're not going to be really discussing what his EZA details are. I mean, we'll kind of skim through it and everything else like that, but we're not going to be going through it completely. Um, but here, Jiren's details were announced. And unfortunately, he is mid. He's not really doing anything crazy. He would be doing something if we had fights that really suited this guy's needs, but Dokkan heavily shafted this guy. He needed to be way better than he is. He's getting key +2 attack and defense 200%, and then he's got a medium chance to stun all enemies. And then he's effective against all types when facing one enemy, and then he's reducing damage received by 30% when facing two. Then he's getting an additional attack and defense 50% and high chance of stunning the enemy when performing a super attack, and then performs a critical hit, stun enemies, plus an additional attack and defense 111%, and performs a critical hit when there's a Universal Survival Saga or Tournament Participants category enemy. I'm pretty sure you guys can kind of take a look at his kit and see what the problem is. What I want to discuss today is the downward spiral of these monthly Dokkan Fest on top of some of these EZAs, right? So I have some stuff pulled up here that I want to talk about. The first, it really started, I think, I've noticed it more and more with like banner units. They've heavily started shafting how banner units perform. Like with these guys for sure, for instance, like they have these 2023 cards released with a like 2021 banner unit, right? Like they're unusable. And like what Dokkan likes to do is they'll restrict characters to certain things, right? Like the androids are restricted to a Goku, and then also, they have a bad leader skill with their siblings bond. The secondary part of the leader skill being siblings bond, it definitely doesn't really help them out a lot. They're good. It's just they struggle a bit without Goku. They need him, if we want that extra scouter and stuff like that. They're a good support unit otherwise. And then they also, they release these characters in a meta that just absolutely does not work for them whatsoever. Right now we're in an AoE meta, right? The two hardest fights of the game are both AoE characters, or AoE fights, and it's a little bit tough with the androids to get past that. And not just the androids too. Almost every banner unit that has come out with these past few monthly Dokkan Fests, almost every single one, other than this guy's, right? This guy's is at least pretty good. His banner unit's quite good, and in fact, I think helps him out a little bit. I would say between all of these characters right now, this guy had the best batch of banner units for sure. And it's just a bit unfortunate, right, that Dokkan is kind of heading in this direction. I'm not going to talk too much about the Goku Black EZA, despite how unfortunate it really is. This just goes to show, with the Jiren EZA, like this is showing me that they really aren't putting too much stock in these EZAs anymore. I think what they're doing is they're looking at it as like 30 free zones. They're not really they're shafting these characters, it feels like, or they're not playtesting them. And I'm nervous that like this is going to be an ongoing trend. I get some characters can be bad, some characters can be good. But when it comes to characters that are important, like Goku Black should have been way better than what he was. Jiren should have been way better than what he is right now. Like, it is insane how much they've shafted this character. He would help out the androids a lot, right? Having him on the android team, being able to tank Super Slot 1, having a Slot 1 character would have been nice. Now, I'm not saying that every EZA needs to be a Slot 1 super mega tank, but when it comes to a release and a celebration, right, that heavily depends. When you shaft a character, right, when you release a Slot 2 character, they want the EZAs to be Slot 1 characters, and they haven't been doing that this year, unfortunately. Goku Black, really, really bad. Could have been an amazing fit on Zamasu's team. Just really terrible. This guy, released shitty. He was not good. Even on release, he's bad. And it's been around like 7 months since he's come out. So even now, in the AoE meta, he is worse than the day he came out. Absolutely just terrible unit design on this guy. And then on top of that, his banner unit is also very mid. Very, very bad. Like, they are unusable. So it's just, they keep releasing these units. It's very unfortunate how they how they release it. Turles is in a really unfortunate spot. Could have been a really good pick on a lot of teams that needed him. And unfortunately, like, he himself, without like a lot of his stuff active, is not doing all that much, right? I do think he's okay, but he's not doing a lot. He's gonna age out really fast, right? Um, this guy, I can't really put him on the same tier. I can't put them on the same tier as this dude, or this guy. They are good. They are a good release, right? But I'm more so focusing on with them is their restrictions, them releasing into the game with those restrictions, and then not having anything to kind of help them with that, and still not having anything to help them with that with the Jiren EZA. Most of these EZA batches are very mid, are very bad, and I'm just hoping that this isn't an ongoing trend. I'm just a little scared about that. I'm really scared, and I feel like Dokkan's gonna go down into some downward spiral. There's gonna be some good EZAs, some bad ones. It's just if they keep giving us celebrations with characters like this guy, where like they need tournament participants characters on the team to help them out a lot, and then they drop with an EZA like this. There's no point in dropping the EZA. And in fact, I really wish Jiren hadn't have EZA'd at all, because this is the most useless EZA of this is the most useless EZA, I think. It's just a really useless EZA. You're not running him. He's like literally just a tiny bit better than he was. He's a super battle road killer, and that's all it is. Very unfortunate, very annoying. I don't know. That's all I really wanted to talk about today. It's just I'm worried that Dokkan is in a downward spiral. Now, to make this video a little less negative, because I know that this probably comes off as though it's like a win sesh or something like that. Dokkan has released good EZAs this year. They have released good units this year. Some of which needed help and also just still don't have it, right? We have Kale and Khalifa, decent EZA, could have been better and not exactly what Kale needed. Kale right here, good unit, but is struggling to find characters to be ran with to make her the best she can be. I will say, though, she is good on tournament participants. I do like her on tournament participants, and we'll see how these EZAs perform in game. But I can tell you this right now, a lot of these new EZAs are not surviving a Zamasu AoE or an Omega AoE. They're just not doing it. Kale can, the EZAs can't, and that is the sad part. Not every single character needs to be the best broken character in the game, but if they did that, nobody would really be complaining, and I think overall the game would be a little bit healthier if there were if they would release EZAs to at least kind of compete in a lot of the content that has come out recently. So that's all I really wanted to say. I know it sounded like a bit of a whinge fesh, but just know I do love this game. I still love this game. I just want to see it flourish, and I don't want to see it, have a drop in EZA quality, because EZAs genuinely, I think, make up a lot of what makes the celebration fun for a lot of free-to-play characters, right? Dropping an EZA like this guy, for if you're a free-to-play character and you didn't pull any of the new releases, this guy was going to be like your saving grace, right? He was releasing into the game, very excited. People were very excited about it, and then his EZA details came out, and he's absolutely terrible. And free-to-play characters are having a bad time, right? If EZA characters are good, free-to-play players are happy, right? That's at the end of the day. Most players, everybody's happy if an EZA is good. But that's going to do it for today, guys. I really appreciate each and every last one of you at the end of the video. I'm sorry if this came off as negative. It's just a little bit of a discussion type thing. Outing my worries, just kind of talking about it. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. I love you, boys. Strive to be better people every single day. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Is Dokkan going down into a downward little spiral here with EZA quality? Or is it just, 2 bad months in a row? We'll see. Anyway, guys, I love you, boys. Stay safe and have a good one.